So I thought I'd do a second video on my Ponca blackberries, mostly because while there's many things I love about them, I'm actually starting to see something that I think is kind of a problem. Let's get in and first take a look at how they're doing. As I said before, just a lot of flowers, really nice growth, dense fruiting. Really very happy with these in general. And these are primal canes last year, and now you can see all this fruit coming up. And there'll be a bear just to kind of keep them contained and trellised as this patch continues to grow, which kind of leads to the thing I'm seeing as a bit of a problem. Now, if we come in here about this time of year, I'd expect to see a bunch of primal canes coming up from the crowns. But if we go in, most of the crowns, nobody home, no primal canes, right? So what's going on? Well, you go over here about a foot, and there's one. Another foot further away, there's one. And, that one may be coming from this guy. And so, in general, what I'm seeing is they are sending up a lot of primal canes not near the crown. So I'm used to that with raspberries. With blackberries, they're usually much more contained. They'll stay in a row. But I've been talking to other growers, and several of them have seen this behavior, specifically with Ponca. Cado that I also have, boom, right from the crown, all these new primal canes coming up right from the crown, an inch away at the most, right out of the roots. But here, we're seeing them 2, 3, someone was reporting 8 feet away in their third year growing. So for maintenance and keeping them contained in a nice row, which blackberries again are much easier to do, that's a problem. Particularly here, I've got this narrow patch. I've got a neighbor's plot behind it. I got other areas. I can't let those primal canes grow. So it'll be interesting over time if I wind up having to cut primal canes out because they're being ill-behaved, they're jumping out of the row, or they're getting into my neighbors. Then am I going to get new primal canes coming up beside them, or am I going to eventually sort of diminish the patch? But more importantly, it makes maintenance much harder in a space like this where you're trying to grow them. Or if you were doing a U-pick operation and you had them all in a row, it may just fill in between them, as mine seems to be doing so far. But I also know I pulled one out that was actually right up here in front of this little daikon that's growing left over from my cover crops. So that would have been almost 3 feet out of the row. So again, we'll have to see over time. This is just something I haven't seen with other blackberries I've grown, triple crown, Osage, berries are supposed to be delicious. This will be my first year really getting a crop that I can evaluate. I had a few last year, they were very good. But, and certainly probably the best and sweetest of the, thornless erect type, which is great. But over time, we'll have to see, does this become more of a problem just in management? It's not just the others are much easier to grow in that way. So we'll see what happens. But I'd love to hear if anyone else is growing them in the comments. Tell us what you're seeing. Is this something you're seeing with Ponca? I've heard from several others they are. A great berry for many reasons, but something maybe to consider if you're putting them in, or just even planning how you're going to maintain them or grow your row, or how you're putting them in to maintain them. Maybe a patch more than a row is better if they're going to just be popping up randomly. So there you go. Enjoy. I hope you're growing some so you can enjoy them. A lot of fun just seeing all those berries develop. So I'm really looking forward to it. Don't mean to put Ponca down really, but it just definitely an area for concern culturally in how you're going to grow these in your garden.